Hey, this is Zero at ReviewZoneHD bringing you guys a review of Apache Air Assault for the PlayStation 3. I said in a video last night the first person to comment would get to choose what game I would work on tonight, and Jasper3998 won that first comment, Epic Battle, that takes place with all of my videos. I've actually played through this entire game twice, and I've played it several times online as well, so needless to say I do have some extensive flight time under my belt. I've played through the Hawks games and spent a little time with Ace Combat. Let's find out how this game stacks up with the other air combat games. The graphics are kind of on both ends of the spectrum on this title. The backgrounds, the sky, the ground, they all look pretty nice as long as you're at a distance. The helicopter you're flying looks awesome, and finally the explosions and the smoke effects also look pretty good. There's a pretty good variety in the stages as well. Expect to do combat in snowy mountains, over the ocean, in the desert, and in the jungle. But the enemies in some parts of the levels do get a little bit bland, and if you get close enough to most objects, their true standard looking graphics begin to show. The game does run really smooth without any noticeable texture popping or screen tearing. So overall, I'd say the graphics on here are pretty good and actually better than a lot of the other flight combat games. This is one part of the game that falls a bit flat. The sound effects sound alright, and the voice acting is extremely well done to the point you actually want to hear what they are instructing you to do instead of just mindlessly pushing the noise into the background. However, the music in the title is pretty boring. It does give a real laid-back feel to the game, and it's relaxing to listen to, but when you're raining down missiles and laying down gunfire while dodging missiles at top speed, it would have been nice to have some pulse-pounding music to go along with it. This game is considered to be a helicopter flight simulator, and the controls on this one really take some getting used to. A good example of this is watching the Zero vs. Sick blooper video of Sick attempting to learn the controls and not being able to smoothly fly the helicopter. It's a lot harder than one would think. The good news is the game does have a training difficulty, which is the equivalent of training wheels on a bicycle. You're restricted in how you can roll and spin the helicopter, and it makes it much easier to get a feel for the controls before letting it loose in the harder difficulties. Also, when you bump it up to the harder difficulty, you're forced to land sometimes to repair and sometimes to reload your weapons, and landing is just as hard as flying. So the fun in this game really comes down to if you're willing to spend some time learning the controls in the game, but once you learn everything, it can be very rewarding knowing you have complete control over everything that's going on around you. For the trigger-happy, no-patience type of player, you may be better suited with a more arcade-style air combat game, but if you like a challenge and think the game looks even somewhat interesting, you won't be disappointed. There's around 16 stages, each extremely huge and well-designed maps, some pretty awesome online co-op options to play in, the ability to customize your helicopters with decals, and you also have different helicopters that you fly throughout the missions. The local same-screen co-op option really isn't the way to go on here, with one flying and one person controlling the gun. For the person handling the gun, things can get pretty boring pretty quickly. This game is still somewhat hard to find, with used copies still going for a decent amount. I'd assume because the people that own this one actually enjoy the game and don't want to get rid of it, and I'm definitely in that category. There's a lot of content and there's a lot to like about this game. I'd certainly recommend it for anyone looking for an air combat game. Anyways, this is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I'll be bringing you guys more soon.